let's just start with your origins. So before you had theatre, playback or behavioral science as formal structures, how did you navigate environments that felt sensory overloaded, rigid, or socially unregulated?
Wow, love the question. Actually, I have always had theatre. I've been very lucky like that because I started doing theatre when I was 8 years old. I was a very shy kid, and my mom was like, what to do with this child? And she was a dancer herself, so she threw me into performance arts. I still remember the very first dialogue I said as a parrot when I was 8, and it was Mama, I'm scared, or Amma nang bhaya agta ide. And it was love at first sight. Suddenly theatre felt like a space where I could just be, and people were fine with who I was, being loud and being proud. The kind of neurodivergence I am generally the sensory overload to others. So theatre was like, yeah, come be sensory overload here. It's a strength. So it was only much later I realized that theatre was a very regulating space for me. I was just like, yeah, I'm in love with theatre and I feel like I'm myself there and everything. But it was, I got diagnosed with ADHD at 28. So until then, I didn't have language for any of this. But then I suddenly started realizing, okay, theatre is the space that is helping me sort of navigate this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as somebody else who has a similar diagnosis, amongst other things, although I guess my ADHD diagnosis came quite a bit earlier because I was it was what you would call a 6-foot grasshopper when,
That's
when I was a
fun.
teenager, moving around rapidly. Yeah, but so this is very interesting to me because I too have I started out in theatre and I'm still in it, except I have to pick up all these instruments because I didn't want to rely on downloaded OSTs of random film scores to make my own musical scores. And I spent the last 15 odd years just learning instruments I could get them. But with that said, theatre I find is a place which has, a lot of order. There is a lot of discipline to it. There is a lot of, rules regarding how you conduct yourself inside it. Or at least that's what I found when I was doing theatre in the 2009, 10, 11 era, and also shortly before that when I was in school. So as a person that's self-identified as the chaos in the room, how do you adjust to it?
You start becoming the leader in that space and make everybody else follow the chaos. That was because I'm a director. And
So was I.
yeah, no, but you're still like on a rules. So I think it's a spectrum, right, of what we see as structure. Because my mother was is a Bharatanatyam dancer, and I found that to be very restrictive. Also very Brahminical in the way she practiced it. So theatre became the space where I could explore structurelessness a lot more somehow. And in my experience, theatre has been very fluid. I think also because it's not just proscenium theatre that I practice improv theatre and playback, where play is sort of the center
Can
of
you
the
please
space.
define all of these terms? For
I will. So improv theatre is where we take prompts from the audience and we just build up scenes and make up characters in the moment, on the spot. It's an unscripted format. Playback is somewhere in between improv theatre and proscenium theatre as I see it, because we take entire stories from the audience. It's a live scripting almost that happens and performers enact. Of course there are structures there also, but I think playing a lot is allowed. And I think in my last decade of theatrical experience, I have always been very put off by these strict schools of theatre that say this is what you have to do, this is how you have to be, director is the captain of the ship. I've always been trying to break those norms, I feel, which is why, because I bring improv, playback, proscenium together, playground has been bigger for me.
What's proscenium?
Proscenium is the traditional theatre where you do stage set lights, rehearsals, show.
Oh, the entire process is called proscenium.
The field is called proscenium theater.
The space is called proscenium.
Yeah.
Oh.